Hey, Sagittarius, intuitive soul coach here with your June 2023 love and family reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading or entering into the free monthly reading giveaway, you can find both of those links in the description box below. All right. So big changes afoot for you, Sagittarius. Now you have the butterfly. A lot of you have been going through a huge personal transformation from the inside out, but you may start to notice it changing in your physical world come June, because this is the recent past position. Now, when we go through what is like the death in tarot, it's a time of an ending, whether it's an old way of doing things that you no longer want to do. It could be habits, patterns, routines. It could be attracting the same type of relationships or playing out the same story in a relationship. This is changing for you. What's happening is you're shifting the dynamic and you are raising your vibration, Sagittarius, to attract new things. I really like this energy for you. Now, in the month of June, you have the owl. This is about having the clarity that you need to move forward. Now, there could have been a relationship, whether it was a family member, a loved one, a romantic partnership, a friendship, something that you just weren't sure how it was going to turn out. What's going to happen if I reach out? What's going to happen if I don't respond to this person on a holiday? Or if we decide to get together? What if, what if, what if? However, I feel like there has been some sort of movement, and I'm getting action for you in the month of June. Now, for others of you, if you're single and you're wanting to attract love, a soulmate, or companionship into your world, I feel like you've been doing the inner work to shift your vibration to the frequency of what it is that you want to attract. That's how the law of attraction and manifestation work. It's not just about wishful thinking and hoping that something changes, right? That's expecting an external circumstance to change something within us, and that's not how the law of attraction works. There is big changes that occur from the inside out. You raise your vibration to match what it is that you seek, and that's what you've been doing here. So pat yourself on the back, Sagittarius. There's been some personal development, some inner healing, and some major soul life lessons occurring in your world. Now, when the book shows up, this is showing up for a few signs, and I'm getting the same message over and over here when it comes to this specific card is the Akashic Records. So the Akashic Records, we have access to at all times. You can have access through maybe someone who can guide you on the path to access them, a healer, a shaman, a seer, a psychic. This can also be you accessing through meditation, through higher levels of consciousness. This is also about you understanding why things occurred the way they did, because you're realizing that it's part of the divine plan. You chose your soul family. You chose these contracts. You don't necessarily know how they are going to work out because we have what's called spiritual amnesia when we get here to earth, right? But I feel for a lot of you, there's clarity on the path forward, and you're going to trust in your true inner north. So really deep starting off here, but let's dive into your reading, Sagittarius, and see where this takes us. Now, the tarot cards that I am sensing right away, I do see the Chariot, and I don't think any of the signs really have received the Chariot at this point, but there is movement here. There's forward movement. It wouldn't surprise me to see that Death card as well. I'm getting Four of Cups, even Four of Pentacles, because I feel like you're opening up. You're spreading your wings, where you may have felt like you were in the caterpillar stages of a situation, but now that you've gone through the transformation, the cocoon process, you're able to spread your wings. I'm getting Two of Wands as well. So let's dive in here, Sag, and see what is the heart of the matter. What is the main energy for you in the month of June 2023? Main energy. The World. Beautiful. You've completed a cycle, and that's what we've been talking about here. Big changes afoot because you have completed a necessary cycle that you chose to learn and evolve from, right? This can be about happy endings. It can be about completing maybe a karmic pattern between you and a family member. I'm also getting something here with heritage, ancestors, ancestry healing. You may have stopped a cycle dead in its tracks, is what I just heard here. So perhaps you've chose to link your energy to a bloodline, maybe of substance abuse or intense trauma or emotional wounding through abuse, whatever it is here for you. You may have grew up in this environment, but you're choosing to do things differently so it doesn't continue moving forward. So this is a really powerful time of growth. I also sense that you are embracing a brand new journey, a brand new beginning. This is the last card in the major arcana, Sagittarius. So you've come to this glass ceiling in the evolution of a relationship that's close to your heart, or with you yourself, because that is the strongest, most important relationship that you'll have, because this is your soul's journey, no one else. Even though the people that show up in our world, we can, we say we'll take a bullet for this person, or we do anything for that person. Yeah, that's that unconditional love. But when it comes down to it, this is our soul's journey as well. So I do feel here for you, there's a cycle that you've wrapped up, and you're going to get ready to turn not only that next chapter, but you're ready to write an entirely new book, right? A new series here, or a new volume number, right? I feel like you're just adding on here to your life story, but you're moving in a new direction. So this big change that's afoot, this could be a move. It could be a divorce. It could be a marriage. It could be birth. It could be death. It could be, anything that has to do with a major turning point in your world. But I'm sensing that this is for the better. Even though some of those things that I mentioned, they can be challenging. They can be struggles, but it's offering us a sense of liberation and freedom is what I heard here. But not in the sense that you have to leave, a person behind. Some of you may be choosing to close a chapter in a situation, absolutely. But I feel for a lot of you, there's an up level here. There's a shifting in the dynamic of your energy, and it's going to allow new experiences to come into your world. Let's take a look at the challenge. I do sense some of you in the past, you did feel stuck. Maybe you felt set back. You were maybe single, wanting to attract love, or you didn't have the closure that you wanted from a loved one who's crossed over, or a relationship that ended bitterly, or disappointing, where it hurt the heart. I do sense here that you're moving on from it. Whether you receive the physical closure, I feel like you emotionally are shifting, and you're saying, I can't carry that weight of the world on my shoulders. And that's the world here as well. Now the challenge, oh my gosh, I love it. There's the Two of Wands. We said that, spread your wings with the butterfly. So the challenge for you this month is to be able to do that, because you're in between worlds is what I'm hearing here, because your foot may still be in this energy, and you are still transitioning, because you may feel like you're at the end of that cocoon stage. But the beauty of the Two of Wands here is about being able to spread your wings, get off that perch, get out of that cocoon. So it may still feel a little bit messy, but it's moving along, it's moving forward, and there could be some quick, swift action. Again, Chariot energy, possibly even Eight of Wands, because I'm getting there could be relocation. There's definitely news, a message, or communication that's going to set you up for a new plan. Now, I feel like you are keeping your third eye chakra open, and what it is you are manifesting is one step closer here to becoming a reality. So Sagittarius, this is pretty powerful here. I also sense that some of you may seek out a healer, a coach, a therapist, a mentor, a reader. There could be someone that gives you wise counsel or wise advice. I'm getting here a blend between the Hierophant, the Hermit, the High Priestess, as well as maybe even that King or Queen of Cups, because there's some sort of news or advice or message that you receive from Spirit in the form of maybe a person who can channel that energy as well, or you yourself, but you're going to know, and it's going to resonate deeply. Very powerful. The challenge with the Two of Wands is don't stay too long in that in-between stage, right? Because sometimes the challenge for you can be staying there because that feels safe, or that feels comfortable, but we rarely grow in that comfort zone. And it doesn't mean that it's healthy either. It's typically what's familiar. And what's familiar isn't always what's best for us here. So spread your wings, Sagittarius. There's a brand new beginning coming in here for you. I'm getting here a brand new earth, a brand new vibration. You know, you could completely be shifting from that 3D to that 5D energy as well. So pretty out there for you, but Sagittarius, just know that big changes are happening in your inner world that will start to reflect in your outer. So what's in the deep, deep past? What do we have for Sagittarius here? What's the foundation upon which you're built? Some waiting, right? Temperance energy here. Some of you have waited a long, long time to heal a wound, whether it's a mother wound, a trauma. It could be something that hurt you, abused you, or disappointed you in childhood, right? It could be a relationship that you were in out of high school or out of college. This can even be at times our own inner child wounding that comes back in to bite us in the you know what, right? It's finding that balance. It is dealing with our emotions, our behaviors, and our temperaments, because the temperance here is all about self-control. It's finding balance. It's finding moderation and blending those energies so we don't have to see that pendulum swing to the extremes, right? So finding this blending energy between masculine and feminine, between you and partnerships, between you and other relationships in your world. And that's been a struggle for you at times. You've had to be patient along the way, which no one loves to hear that word. And I can guarantee you've had, you know, your fair share of impatience where you've just been stamping your foot on the ground wondering, okay, when is this healing going to take place? When am I going to call in my soulmate? When is this vibration going to shift? Because I've about had it, right? There's that impatience coming in. But the beautiful news is here, a lot of times what shows up in your foundation is your greatest strength, but it takes a lot of struggles, trials, and errors for us to find this positive flip side of, you know, whatever shows up in our foundation. And for you, it has been a struggle to temper those emotions or those relationships, to find balance and blend them. Now, I like this for you because Sagittarius, you have what it takes. This is a very powerful card. It's one of the most powerful ones, believe it or not, in the major arcana. So the fact that this is showing up in your DNA, in your energy field, this is who you are on a core level. You can find that balance. You can stay patient. But I do find, again, as I said, a lot of times, whatever's in the foundation, we have to deal with a lot of the flip side of this energy to master it, right? That can be sometimes our sole purpose, one of our biggest challenges here. So let's take a look at what's showing up in the recent past and how it may still be affecting your present. What do we have in the recent past? Because we certainly see some big changes. There could have been a tower moment. There could have been a situation where you didn't feel, okay, beautiful, where you didn't feel, you felt some ascension symptoms, I'm getting here as well. There's the books, right? There is that Hierophant that we were tuning into. This is divine guidance. It's about learning how to question and take a look at your beliefs from a brand new angle. That's what you have clarity on now. You realize that some beliefs that maybe you were taught in the past have been hindering your relationships from a very early age. For some of you, maybe you were betrayed because you see the little dog there. And dogs can represent loyalty, trusty companionships. There was a lot to learn as well along the way. You may have been in a relationship, not may have been, I feel like you absolutely have been in. You've been in a relationship, whether this is mother, father, sibling, family member, friendship, lover, right? This can be a relationship that has taught you about yourself. It's almost like that mirrored energy. It can teach you about what you want and what you don't want. So many times you hear stories of people saying, I want to break the patterns of the past. I don't know how to do this, but I know what I don't want. I don't want to be like my mother. I don't want to be like my father. So you may not know what that looks like, but you certainly know what you don't want it to be, right? So I feel like you've had to find your path, find your way through trial and error, through ups and downs, through challenges and successes here. here. So you've come to a place where it's very important now to use all of those experiences, all of that knowledge to tap into this unlimited potential of where you can go from here on out in the relationships that you either have that you would like to strengthen, or the dynamic of bringing new people into your world, because you're ready here, but you had to go through some of these deep, deep soul lessons, and they were sticky, they were icky, they may have been painful for a lot of you Sagittarians, and it may have taken a hell of a long time with this Temperance card. Some of you, maybe 20 years. Some of you were in a commitment as well for quite some time because it was familiar, right? Because it was all you known. But now you're breaking free, and the challenge for you can be, should I stay? Should I go? But this is familiar. This is comfortable. We don't grow in that comfort zone. So I'm sensing that there's an old habit you must drop. There is an old limiting belief that no longer serves you. You deserve freedom. You deserve happiness, whatever form or shape that takes for you, Sagittarius. It's available, because what you are manifesting, what's above you, what's your head in your headspace, Wheel of Fortune. This is a complete turning point in your world. And if you take a look, I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 major arcanas. This isn't just something small in your life where, oh, it's just June, it's just a month, it's just going to fly by. There are some personal shifts that are happening on a big, big level for you. And I feel like it's a turning point in your world, right? This is the Wheel of Fortune, destiny and fate intervening. This is you being able to tune in to your higher self and say, all right, what's the next human experience that I chose to have? Because my free will is saying here, I'm done with this cycle. I'm ready to move on to the next, right? When this Wheel of Fortune shows up, this is good luck. It is a turning point. It's all about the cycle of life, because you don't want to repeat a cycle that's already been done. And for some of you, you've been doing it for far, far too long. Right? So very powerful messages. Whew, I'm getting goosebumps here as well. With such major arcanas and big cards, you definitely got a lot going on here, but I feel like it's going to change your life for the better. Let's see what's showing up in the near future. What do we have here for you in the near future? Okay, wow, powerful. So you have the third eye chakra mixed with this high priestess. This is actually quite interesting. Sagittarius, if I called you Scorpio, I apologize. But if you do have Scorpio placements, or you're on that cusp, I'm pretty sure, now don't quote me here, I'm pretty sure that Scorpio had the third eye and the high priestess show up at the exact same time as well. And I do shuffle these cards prior. There's no such thing as coincidence, right? So some of you have strong Scorpio placements, or again are on that cusp, but I feel that you are working on your manifestation skills. You're trusting your intuition. You're trusting the niggle. There's a little niggle inside you that is saying, if I keep doing what I've been doing, I'm going to get what I've always got, right? And that shows up repetitively as a repeat pattern over and over until we choose differently. Your soul, your intuition, your higher self is urging you to manifest the type of life that you are worthy of, that you desire, and that you've been wanting for quite some time, but you just weren't sure. Maybe you felt too stuck in that comfort zone. Maybe you felt like your hands were tied. Maybe you don't want to leave because you had family with someone, children. Perhaps you wanted to keep the peace. You needed to save money. Whatever reasons that we tell ourselves that we stay confined to situations. Maybe it's an old belief of not being able to ever attract the love that we desire, and then it puts us into a pattern of staying single for quite some time. Whatever that is for you, you're shifting that up here in a big, powerful way. So listen to your intuition. I'm going to pull some cards here. I do have another one. We'll read it as the you position, but I just want to take a look and see what this intuition is telling you at this time. I mean, some of you, your intuition is taking a deep dive within, especially with the big changes here. And it could be taking a deep dive into your belief system around love, around family, around, what you've been taught versus maybe what you feel on an intuitive or soul level. What do we have to clarify, please? The high priestess. The Temperance showing up again. It goes back to your roots. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It literally goes back to your roots. When it comes to love, this is about healing rifts and avoiding the ego. It doesn't have any place with this new frequency and this new energy that you are heading into, right? The temperance is about you being able to stay in a cooperative energy, in a peaceful energy, so you can rise above the ego, rise above the challenge and the conflict here. So literally goes back to the roots. What a beautiful clarification from Spirit here. All right, Sagittarius, how are you feeling? What are you doing? What's your energy all about? Six of Pentacles. This is beautiful. It's all about reciprocity, equal give and take. This is about you giving and you receiving. I scratch your back, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. We're in this together. There is no I in team. So I do feel that if relationships are one-sided, but you've been bending over backwards for 20 years, someone may have been too familiar and too comfort with that environment. They started to get used to it. They started to expect it. They started to resent when maybe you decided to shake things up a little bit. Now, for others of you as well, I do sense that there was a relationship. Specifically, I'm getting parental. Maybe it's you are the parents. Maybe it's you are the daughter or son. It could be a father figure of your own children or a mother figure of your own children. Something was one-sided, and it just felt like you had to take the brunt end or the short end of the stick, right? And that's not fair. That actually starts to build upon us, build, and we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, and it can be heavy. It can be a heavy burden that's not ours to carry. So Sagittarius, what you have here showing up, what you're manifesting with this Six of Pentacles is relationships that are equal give and take. There's generosity coming in, and I'm also getting someone unexpected that shows up in your world. Now this could be, again, it could be a healer, it could be a family member, it could be a soulmate. It could even be a companion animal where there is going to be equal give and take, right? Someone's going to be able to help you out, and in return you help them. And it could show up in different forms, right? It could be that you hire, maybe you hire a therapist and you are helping them by, paying money towards them, but they're giving you something in return. So there is an exchange. This can be having a conversation with a loved one and saying, hey, can we have a healthy adult conversation between the both of us? This is the groundwork we'd like to set this conversation up on. Can we talk to each other? And instead of jumping in, instead of interrupting, instead of assuming, just letting the other person speak their piece and allowing you to speak yours, right? It's that equal give and take, whatever that looks like. That's what you're attracting. Beautiful. Excuse me. All right, Sagittarius, let's take a look at the environment. What's going on around you? Wow, this is a very powerful, deep reading here. I certainly sense that there could be communication again. As I said that, my throat chakra is activated, and there's a well-deserved reward. Now, some of you, you've overcome a sense of codependency. Now, codependency, so many times it's thrown out there, but we don't really understand unless you dive into it. Codependency, you think of, oh, someone's codependent on drugs or alcohol, but codependency really, I believe the definition, or I believe the energy around codependency in short, simple terms is focusing on someone else's bobber, right? You're out fishing, you got a bobber, you're looking at their bobber. Therefore, you're not focusing on when you get the nibble or when you get the bite because you're too busy concentrating on theirs. When you're too busy concentrating on someone else's stuff, you miss what's right in front of you. And that can lead to codependency when we let other people's energy affect ours, right? And when you have this Nine of Pentacles here showing up for you, Sagittarius, you've overcome. I feel like you're focusing on your own bobber, your own lane, right? You're focusing on what you can control. And that is you, your emotions, your feelings. You can't control what comes at you, right? But how you deal with it, you have control over. And that's something that's taken a lifetime for a lot of you to come to this realization. And that may be part of these big changes that are showing up in your world. And it's going to lead to a well-deserved reward, which could show up in the form of a partnership, a soulmate, soul tribe, friendships, reunions, connecting with loved ones that you've had a rift or falling out with. Whatever this is here for you, it can be you coming back to self-love. You coming back home to yourself, being able to make choices that you make for you. Instead of letting the world around you make those decisions, the people around you decide how you spend your time or your energy, right? This is a powerful, powerful energy to be in. You're creating a life that you love and that you are proud of through individual achievement. I love this. All right, let's take a look at the hopes and fears for you, Sagittarius. Hopes and fears for Sag. June 2023. I mean, some of you, there could have been a polar shift in January for sure. Look at these pentacles, a lot of earthly energy showing up along this side here. You have the Seven of Pentacles is showing up in your hopes and fears. You don't want to wait forever, right? That's where it comes back to the roots here. Okay, you're ready for a new experience here on earth. You're ready for a new beginning. You're ready to do things differently than you've done before. Sometimes we have to be a little bit more patient, right? But this is showing up as the fear. And I do feel that if we let the fears get the best of us, when we succumb to those fears, which what do I say about fear? False evidence appearing real. When we let those hold us in place, it limits our vibrational frequency. We're not able to rise to the energy as quick as we would like to. Therefore, it prolongs things coming to us that we want to come towards us. It's that push and shove, right? It feels difficult and it feels challenging. Now we have here the positive side of the Seven of Pentacles is about you coming very, very close to harvest, right? Typically in the Seven of Pentacles, there's a farmer that's just got done planting a bunch of seeds, but now he's waiting for the sun. He's waiting for the rain, and he's waiting for, external circumstances to work in his favor, but he's did the work, right? You've done the work. You've raised your vibrations, and it's been a long time coming here, but now it's time for the universe to work its magic. So step aside, give the universe some breathing room, and you will see results taking shape here sooner rather than later. Very, very wonderful. I love this. Sag, if you're liking this reading, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channel messages out there that need it most. Let's take a look at the final outcome. What's the final outcome for Sagittarius in the month of June 2023 in matters of the heart? Oh, I love it. Share the love, sharing the love. This is Three of Cups energy. Three of Cups is all about celebrating with your friends, with your family, with your community. It could be attending parties, wedding receptions, school reunions, graduations. Some of you, there's news of a birth, right? This is attracting your soul tribe, connecting with other kindred spirits. It's no longer feeling left out. It's no longer feeling like you're on the sidelines watching everyone else dive into their happiness or their partnerships, and you're the one over here on the bench. You're no longer benched. It's time to get in and play the game, right? This is a powerful, beautiful new energy for you, and you're going to feel like you belong. You're going to feel like you're coming home to yourself, to your people, to your soul tribe, right? There is some sort of reunion here, whether it is with someone around you in your family dynamic, whether it's a soul reunion with a person that you chose to incarnate into this lifetime with, whatever this is here, it's feeling good. And look what's in that hand. When the hand is open, you're ready to receive. And there's a heart there, but that heart is broken open. And sometimes the biggest ways that we learn on earth how to unconditionally love, how to embrace that energy of compassion and kindness is through tragedy, through loss, through grief, through disappointment, through heartache. It breaks our heart wide open at times. Now, I'm not saying that's what's coming in. I feel like a lot of you, that's the lessons of the past here. But because you've been through loss, right? I feel like sometimes that can bring in this energy of healing, and that can take a while. It can keep us, again, in a state of, oh, do I really want to open up? I already lost that person. That person it didn't turn out the way I thought. That was the love of my life. They disappointed me, right? That child over there doesn't want anything to do with me. We sometimes play these stories in our head. Yes, it may be a story that was true at that time, but it doesn't need to be how the story ends. It's like one of those old Goosebump books where you could flip to the different page of the different ending. What do you want your ending to look like, Sagittarius? This is completely up to you. Right? Share the love, spread the love, be the love. Powerful. All right, let's take a look and get a message from the wisdom of the oracle. And I will read to you the relationship message, possibly even the reversal, just because we don't even have any negative cards per se here, but because some of you are still stuck in between stage. We have yang energy, yin and yang. And this is interesting because we talk here about the masculine and feminine. Remember, it all boils down to the roots. And in order to create balance, we have to have that receptive energy and then that action. We have to have the emperor, the empress, the masculine, the feminine. We have it all within us, right? We all, each and every one of us have that masculine and feminine quality. Now, I believe this yang is the masculine quality. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, this is the masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen, taking action. And the relationship message for you, Sagittarius, is this. Circumstances are supporting action on your part. It's okay to make the first move. Trust that you will quickly know where you stand. In matters of the heart, there is movement towards your highest good. So go forth with assurance. Passion is in the air, and now is the time to dance to the tune of love. Take the lead. I love this. Yeah. That wheel is spinning in your favor. So whatever it is that you are wanting, I feel wants you as well. Taking 1 step toward the gods, they take 10 steps towards you. Okay. For those of you, now I don't really feel a strong pull towards the protection. It may only resonate for just a few of you. For those of you that are getting quite impatient, because we do have some cards here of waiting, and that can tend to be very impatient, test our energy at times. This may be resonating for you if that's the case. Be mindful of the tendency toward impulsive action, overconfidence, and aggressive behavior. Think before you act, lest you find yourself in a situation that will lead to uncomfortable consequences. Be sure you really want what you're chasing after, because you might be sorry when you get it. The appearance of this card isn't a cause for fear, for life is all about learning lessons. Hello, the books, right? That's that books card showing up here for you. Education and knowledge along with the teach. I mean, this is very powerful. So some of you, you may want to come back to this. Put this video in your watch later. Come back towards the end of June and see what lessons you can see now and then. So many times I have clients that say, oh, I listened to your reading or I recorded and it meant something completely different that second time around. I was able to see things that I wasn't able to see that first time. Now it also says here, the appearance of this card isn't a cause for fear, for life is all about learning lessons. Practice temperance. Oh my goodness, you have the temperance card here. So practice temperance, diplomacy, and thoughtful consideration before making a move. Yes. Okay, so some of you that may resonate. Even though I see action here, think before you leap, which you certainly will. But I do sense with this yang energy, there is that blend, masculine, feminine. So make sure you're open to receiving, because there's a two-way street here. Remember that you have the giving and receiving. So if something is one-sided, then it's not going to be favorable to just take, shotgun action. It's not going to be favorable just to jump the gun on a situation here if it's one-sided. Okay, so very, very important messages coming in here for you. I hope this resonates with you, Sagittarius. A lot of major arcana, but this is leading to a lot of clarity. And the Three of Cups is a very favorable card to have as your outcome. There's going to be some sort of reunion that you have with yourself, with another, with many people, that is going to lead to a lot of love, a lot of laughter, and a lot of joyful celebrations. Thank you so much for tuning in, Sagittarius. If this resonates, again, feel free to hit that thumbs up. If you are vibing with the energy of this channel, feel free to hit that subscribe and bell button, and I'd love for you to leave your comments. I do read each and every one of them. Thank you so much, Sag, for tuning in. Lots of love.